Hi, good evening, guys. All of you, good evening.
Good evening.
So, I hope all people getting my voice. Now we'll start our session. So, in the last session, we discussed about the Django REST framework related some basic points I given, guys. So, today we will discuss some other points. Then you will understanding about the Django REST framework, guys. Okay, na? So, here, see. So in this course, we are going to learn about the Django REST framework related. Django REST framework also called as REST API, guys. So Java REST API is different. Python related REST API is different, guys. Python with Django. These REST API is different, and .NET related REST API is different. So which language you are learning, and that language related framework you are going to learn, and then you are going to learn the your language related APIs. So the people who are learning the Python language and language related framework called the Django framework, Python framework, Django, guys. The people who are learning this Python and Django, then those people can learn this REST API. Using pure Python and Django coding, we will develop these REST APIs, guys. So Java people not eligible for this one. Remember that. If anyone there here Java related students, so this is not suitable for you. Clear that? So, and also I told here Django related. So starting 15 days knowledge you need to have, guys. So without knowing Django framework related, directly if you are joining the REST API related, okay, I will take care, but you need to put more concentration. You need to put more concentration. In Django, you are executing as a every day, creating project, creating application. About the MET architecture, you are getting knowledge, and about the models, views, templates, like you are getting knowledge. Correct? So initial days only, if you are not getting templates related knowledge, also no problem. So in Django, starting 2 weeks, people not discussing with the templates. So models with the views discussing, that is enough for us. So in our Django REST framework, we are not going to use the templates. So we are not using the templates concept. That's why not required for us. Instead of templates, we are going to use some new thing called serializers. We are going to use serializers concept. What is the use of serializers is all things today we will discuss. So in Django URLs you are creating, settings we are creating, admin file we are opening and creating logics, executing these commands, make migration, migrate, create super user, run server, like these all things. So these all things in our Django REST framework also we are going to use, guys. Is this clear? And in the last session only, I given guys introduction about course planning, all the things. So my name is Shankar, guys. I have the 8+ years of experience to developing the Python web applications. So every day our session 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. 1 hour session there, 40 days working sessions required. And in our session, what are the topics we are discussing? Those topics related materials sharing to you, and also what are the projects we are doing in our class. Those projects also sharing to you, and everyday class recording is doing us. Okay, recorded video links also sharing to you. Recorded video links also sharing to you. You can access with 6 months, guys. Within 6 months, and live code we are developing. Okay, I will develop live code and I will explain everything why we are developing like that. And interview based questions I will share, guys. The topic based questions I will share, and also total overall questions also I will share. Clear that? And one more point is one more point here. If we want to learn this Django REST framework, what are the prerequisites? Means Python language knowledge you need to have, and then Django framework knowledge you need to have, guys. So for learning Django framework, Python knowledge is required. For learning the Django REST framework, Django knowledge is required. So totally combination of these all things, guys. Python, Django, and Django REST framework, we are developing the applications. Clear that? So here question you are getting a one word answer question. Is Django framework and Django REST framework both the same or different? So your answer is different, guys. So Django framework is different and Django REST framework is different. Django REST framework is a extension concept of the Django framework, guys. What is that? Django REST framework. Django REST framework is an extension concept of is an extension concept of Django framework as Django REST framework is an extension concept of the Django framework. It means it means the concepts the concepts which are available, guys. The concepts which are available the concepts which are available in Django framework, guys. In Django framework, the concepts which are available in the Django framework, those all concepts, those all concepts available, those all concepts available in Django REST framework also, guys. Django REST framework also, plus some additional concepts there, guys. Some additional concepts there. So along with Django concepts, yes, along with the Django framework related concepts, the Django REST framework having some new functionalities, yes, some new modules contains, those module contains new classes, some new methods. By using these all new modules or classes and methods, so we are getting a lot of benefits, yes. Okay. Also, and DRF means Django REST framework, short name, guys, remember like that. And Django REST framework also contains also contains some new modules, guys. Also contains some new modules, classes, and methods, guys. Some new modules, classes, and methods. So by using these new modules, what are the modules there? I will take care. Just wait. So by using these new modules or classes or methods, guys, so we can get lot of benefits, guys. We are developing APIs more easily. APIs more easily we can develop, guys. By using these Django REST framework related modules or classes or methods, we are developing the APIs more easily. So we can develop the APIs by using different ways, guys. By using the different variations, we can develop the APIs using the Django REST framework related modules or classes or methods more dead easily. We can design the APIs. Using pure Django also, guys, using pure Django also, we can develop the APIs. And using the Django REST framework also, we can developing the APIs. So instead of Django REST framework, using Django framework, instead of using Django REST framework, if we are using the Django framework to developing the APIs, so more complexity is there, guys. More lines of code required to write. So to performing CRUD operation, guys, CRUD means create, update, read, delete related. So to developing the CRUD operation related APIs for our project, so using the Django framework, more than 100 lines of code required. More than 100 lines of code required and a lot of conversions required. One type to another type conversions required, yes. So database data converting into dictionary data converting into JSON data sending to the partner application or sending to the Postman tool or sending to the Python application or sending to the browser like something. Okay. So from where we are sending the request to there, we can send the response simply. So to send this response, lot of conversions we need to do. So requests also we need to be convert and response also we need to be convert. All the things manually we are doing using Django framework. So here, see, we can create we can create APIs by using both Django framework and Django REST framework, guys. So guys, remember whenever I'm using DRF, it means Django REST framework. Remember, guys. Django REST framework related. So we can create the APIs by using both Django framework and Django REST framework. Django REST framework, guys. So to developing APIs, to developing the APIs, or else to developing the CRUD operation related APIs, guys. CRUD APIs, CRUD operation assumption. So to developing the CRUD operations related APIs using Django, using Django, then we require to create more than 100 lines of code, guys. Then we required to create. I will show you these all things practically, guys. So then we require to create more than hundreds of lines code, guys. Hundreds, okay, 100 of lines codes. So hundreds of lines we need to be write it. 100 of code lines required simply. So the same CRUD operation related APIs using the Django REST framework. If we are developing, then so less than 10 lines code enough, guys. To developing the CRUD operations related APIs by using DRF. Then we require to create less than, guys, less than 10 lines of code, simply less than 10 lines of code, 10 lines of code, guys. Hear that? So that much importance there using the Django framework. Come on, all of you understanding? You guys, what I'm typing here? I hope you are following, guys. So how we can write these 10 lines of code using Django REST framework? So how we are writing these 100 lines of code using Django framework? These all things I will take care. Just wait some time. Okay. So here, why we are writing the less lines of code in Django REST framework means I told one point. Django REST framework is providing so many new modules, classes, or methods. So by using these all things, we can developing the APIs more easily. So instead of writing the coding, guys, instead of writing the coding more lines of code, so just we can use these predefined modules or classes. Then these modules or classes contains internal code. Just we are giving something input only, but we are not writing all the lines of code. We are not writing all the lines of code, guys. Okay, so those predefined classes only contains most of the lines of code, guys. Required lines of the code contains and performing the specific operations. Got it? So that's why nowadays the Django REST framework is getting demanding. So if you are learning only Python and Django for developing the web application using Python and Django, guys, so you can design the only out of 100% of the project, you can develop the 60 to 70% of the code only. 60 to 70% of the code only you can develop by using what? Python with Django, guys. Yeah, using Python with Django, you can develop the 70% of the project. Okay, so now here this remaining 30% of the code, guys, is remaining the 30% of the code by using the REST API we are developing. So here Python plus Django we are developing, and then plus REST API also, guys. REST API also required. Then only completely developing the project. So then only this project completely developing. Okay, so developing completely. So without REST API, your project is not completely developed, guys. Something pending is there. Using Python with Django, only people can send the request from the browser and they will interact with our application. So from one application to another application, if we want to make the communication, then API is required, guys. REST API is required for our project. So as a human being, if we want to interact with one application, guys, we require Django URLs. And sometimes one application interacting to other application means one software wants to interact with another software. In that situation, APIs concept required. So simply to make the communication between two applications, app to app communication is, so in middle we required one interface. So that interface is called API. So via the API guys, via the API, these applications both are interacting each other. So one application sending the request, another application giving the response. So using APIs, we can do it. So these all are basic communication, guys. So remember those things one by one, we will discuss. So here in this guys, using Django REST framework, very less lines of code we are writing, I said. So because of this, so many benefits we are getting, guys. So many benefits we are getting. So what are those benefits? What are the advantages of using Django REST framework? So now we will discuss, guys. Got it? Yes. Advantages of Django REST framework, guys. DRF is providing browsable API concept, guys. Browsable browsable API concept. DRF is providing browsable API concept. So this is one major advantage, guys. So Django framework not providing the browsable API concept, but Django REST framework providing the browsable API concept. So browsable API concept means you can see here. So this is my browser. In this browser, I sent one API request. This is my API URL. I designed already. That is I used here. So this is URL, guys. URL, nothing but API URL. API is nothing but one of the URL only. Remember. So from the browser, we can send this API request. So now somewhere one project running with this port number, guys, 9988. With this port number, one project is running. Okay, in this project, API/students like URL is there. So up to this, we are calling a base URL. This is called endpoint URL. What is base URL? What is endpoint URL? Slowly you will understand in further sessions. Okay, now, so whenever I'm sending this API, guys, from the browser only, we are sending requests and we are getting the response. So in my database, whatever the data is there, this all data accessing and displaying in the screen in the browser only. So if you are using the pure Django, in Django not possible, guys. By sending the URL request, we are not getting response in this Django, in the Django, guys. So in Django, if you want to display data, so you need to use HTML presentation. So like a tabular format, if you want, you can display, or else normal list of items, OL with the LI format, if you want, you can display. Whatever you want, you can do it. Hear that? So actually, these all records of data available in my database tables. I accessed those all data and displayed here using Django. So in Django, guys, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, like all the concepts, UI technologies related, templates knowledge we used and we designed. But in the Django REST framework, no need to do like that. So directly we can get and display. See, if I want to create a new record, guys, so I need to develop first of all this one. So one HTML form, create form, I need to develop, guys, create form to store the student data. So student name, okay, one input box, marks one input box, address again input field, mobile input field, and one button called create button. So like I created a number of things, guys. So here HTML tags I used, form tags used, CSS I used. So like all combination I developed. Now from the user, I can take the data and the data can submit to the database table. But if it is a browsable API supporting us, our API is supporting browsable API concept, then so in this browser, without developing any UI code, guys, so by default, we are getting template. Ready-made templates we are getting. That is called the browsable API concept. So here you can enter the student name, marks, address, mobile number. Then you can click this post button. The data is going to create. in the database. Clear that? So this one is called browsable API concept, guys. And now here, for example, ID 1 is there. I'm sending here API slash students slash 1. So where student ID equal to 1 is there, searching for that, getting that, and displaying this. By default, the get operation will done by browser. And if we want to update, so that is the put operation, guys. We can update data and we can click this put button. And if you want to be send in the form of JSON, then also we can send, guys. We can send. So here put to patch there. I will later explain these all things. What is the put? What is the patch? Difference between put and patch. Very, very important question. People will ask in interviews. Got it? And if we want to delete, see here, we can click this delete button. It is asking confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete? No, I don't want to delete. Then click the cancel button. So like this, from the browser only, guys, so basic CRUD operations related, creating, updating, deleting, getting all, getting single one, like all the operations we can do it. So this is called browsable API concept. Clear that? So using Java also, people are developing the APIs, but in the Java browsable API concept, not there, guys. So from the browser, people are not possible to send this request and they are unable to get the response. So in Java, people will use what? Some real-time tools called Postman. For example, this is a tool, guys, real-time tool. So this is we are using regularly for testing our APIs. So now here, open the Postman tool. Downloading and installing. Later, I will show you how to downloading, how to installing, and how we can use it. Just I will send, I want to send one request. I want to get the response. So that is I want to do here right now. It's like a browser, guys. It's looking like a browser. So now here, okay, I will close this. I don't want to save. And now here, guys, one plus symbol is there. Same like in browser, how we are getting this plus symbol like that. So now you can click on this. One tab will open. So here your requested URL you can paste. Requested URL. This is my URL, guys. So with this port number, already application is existing. So running also, guys. Okay, see here. With this port number, my application is running. Okay, now here HTTP methods there, guys. Get, post, put, like several methods there. Later I will explaining about these all methods, guys. So right now by default get method. From the browser also, guys, whenever we are sending the request, by default get request executing. So that's why getting all the records. So same thing now I want to execute here. Same thing. So now here get method I selected, get URL I sent here, guys. Get URL request I'm using here, and then click the send button. If successfully data is getting, guys, so here we are able to see here list of records, guys. List of records, list of records there, guys. So all the records displaying and the status code 200 okay there. 200 means successfully we are able to accessing. Successfully we are getting the response. So this is now pretty format is there. So vertically displaying, guys. So if you want to be see like raw data, so you can click on this raw. So then you are getting like this. Clear that? Now every object is in one line like this you are getting by using preview. By using the preview. So if you are clicking this 30 like this displaying. So finally my API is working as if I want to create a new student information, then here we are selecting the post and then some data we are sending. So I'm not sending data, but I'm trying to create using the same API only. So then you're getting errors, guys. So with the 400 bad requests, bad request means you're not sending correct data. You're not sending correct inputs, guys. So now student name required to send, marks required to send, address also required to send, mobile number also required to send. But we are not giving so far right now this data. So that's why this data not created. Understanding? So If browsable API concept not supporting, then by using the Postman tool or else by developing like this HTML presentation, the data is creating or not, like that we are checking. These all are making some extra burden in our Django REST framework. By default, we have the browsable API concept. So from the browser only all the operations we can do. This is one of the best advantage. Java people like this using the Postman or using the Swagger tool, so people can execute their APIs working or not. As a Django REST API developer, guys, I developed this API. For example, this API is working or not. I want to test. Without waiting for UI developer related, without waiting for this template code. So that's why in that situation, Postman we can use, or else from the browser we can test it. Come on, is this understanding all the people? Browsable API feature. Next. So here guys, I told one point, using the Django REST framework, very less lines of code we are creating. So within the less than 10 lines code, we can create a CRUD operation related APIs. So obviously using the Django REST framework, using the Django REST framework guys, using DRF. So less lines of code we are writing as less lines of code, less lines of code we are creating. So with less lines of code we are creating means within the less time we can develop the APIs. Within the less time we can develop. Less lines code we are creating means within the less time executing programming. If 100 lines creating means taking more time and execution time also increasing. 10 lines code only if creating within the less time we are developing, within the less time executing. So obviously performance of the application increasing using the Django REST framework, and also duration of the project decreasing guys. So developing the APIs related duration decreasing. So simply guys, within the less time with less cost, we can develop the best product, best APIs using the Django REST framework. So that is the one of the biggest advantage of Django REST framework. Less lines of code we are writing. So here only lot of points you can make it guys. So less lines code we are writing means so within the less time guys. With less time we can develop the APIs. So next, obviously duration of the APIs, APIs development duration time decreasing is. So that is only less time. So within the less time we can develop. Within the less time we are developing means so then performance of the application increasing is simply performance performance of performance of APIs increasing is performance of the APIs increasing simply. So performance of APIs increasing guys, and duration of the project decreasing, duration also decreasing guys. Decreases, duration of the project decreases, and less lines of code we are writing means readability increasing guys. Readability of the code increasing, readability of the code increases. So readability increases, complexity decreases. These all are taking one point and building all the points guys. So complexity, complexity, complexity decreases guys. Complexity decreases. So like several points there. So these all are some basic points guys. By taking one point, so we can build up these all points. Next, one more biggest advantage is so built-in serializers there guys. Built-in serializers concept there. Built-in serializers. So what is the serializers? We have a big session for this. Every day we are using the serializers. So simply guys, serialization is nothing but converting one type of data into another type is called as serialization. So from which type into which type conversion. So that is the process of converting the query set objects into the dictionary type and the dictionary type data into the JSON type is called serialization. It is simply query set data converting into dictionary data, guys. And then this dictionary data converting into JSON data. This is called serialization. Now this JSON data sending to the browser or sending to the partner application. Who is sending the request? Those people will get the response. So from the browser, if I'm sending the request to the browser, response sending. Got it? And now guys here, actually data is available in the database, guys. Data is available in the database. Okay, now see, from the database, we are getting the data using Django ORM queries. We are accessing by using the object relational mapping queries, we are accessing, guys. So now that data we are calling like a query set object. Now this query set object we are converting into dictionary, and this dictionary data we are converting into JSON. Now this JSON data we are sending to the browser. So whatever the data is available in this database, guys, so this is using the ORM query we are accessing. Now this data we are converting into dictionary, and then this dictionary we are converting into JSON, and now this JSON data we are sending to the browser. So this process is called as serializers, guys, or else serialization. This process is called as serialization. Simply from the database, we are accessing data and we are sending to the browser. So this direction is called serialization. And the reverse direction also there, guys. From the browser, we are sending the data we can create in the database. So simply from the browser, we are sending the data, guys. So that is in the form of JSON we are sending. Now this JSON data we are converting into dictionary type. Now this dictionary data converting into query set. Now this query set data storing into the database, guys. So this process is called as deserialization. Serialization, deserialization. So in database, if we want to create the data, the process is called deserialization. From the database, if we want to access the data, the process is called as serialization. So we are performing get operation, create operation, update operation, delete operation, like different operations there. Which operations are comes under the serialization? Which operations are comes under the deserialization? These all things later we will discuss clearly. So we have a separate chapter for serializers. There I will show you a lot of things. Got it? Yes, guys. So simply one type into another type, we need to do the conversion. The process is called as serializers. So using pure Django, we can do these all conversions manually. To do these all conversions, more than 100 lines of code required. More than hundreds of lines of code required, guys. But in Django REST framework, we are going to use built-in serializers. So we have a serialization related module we have, and that module contains some serializer classes, built-in classes. By using those classes, we can do these conversions more easily. These classes only responsible to converting query set data into dictionary data into JSON. And this class is only responsible converting JSON data into dictionary into query set. So both directions, guys. So via this format, converting into JSON, and this JSON data via this dictionary, converting into query set format. Everything is done by these built-in serializers. So this is the one of the best advantage in Django framework, in this Django REST framework, not in Django. Now we clear this one. So later I will tell about more and more about this serializers concept. I will tell more and more about this serializers concept. So this is just introduction only. So why this Django REST framework is getting demanding, or else what are the advantages of Django REST framework means? So this is also one of the advantage. And next guys, so built-in security mechanisms there is built-in security guys, built-in security classes providing as built-in security classes providing. So this is also one of the best benefit by Django REST framework. So I'm developing one API guys here. Using this API, people can access these all records of data. These all records of data. So I'm developing one API. Using that API, people can delete these all records of data. So for example, here different records there. So this is what the 12th record is Sehwag related. So this is I'm sending here request 12. Yes, 12th record is there. I want to delete guys. Then click the delete. After deleting 204, no content we are getting guys. So data deleted. Data deleted. No data is there. If I'm searching for the same record, now that is not available. That's why not found we are getting. 404 means 12th object record not there. Clear that? So we can delete. So using this API, people deleting our record. People deleting our record. So I created some records, guys. These all records I created here. In my database, these all records there. These all records. So using this API, people will interact with this data, guys. The people who are using my API, with this API, people can delete these records data. So somebody doing some illegal activities, using my API, some person doing some illegal activities and deleting all the data. Then finally, myself in my database, I'm losing data. So I'm affected, guys. Data lossing. Okay. So that's why who can use our API, who cannot use our API. And when using API, what can do, what cannot do using this API, particular person. For example, when Virat person is there, Virat can do all corroboration using this API, using these APIs. And one more person there, Rohit. So Rohit only can access, cannot delete, cannot update. Understanding? Like permissions we can provide to our APIs. So who can access our API, who cannot access, and the people who are accessing our APIs. So those people, what can do, what cannot do. These all permissions we can provide, guys. So using the Django REST framework related security classes. So to providing these security related to our APIs using pure Django, lot of coding lines required. But in the Django REST framework, built-in classes there, predefined classes there. Just we are going to use those classes, we will get the lot of benefits. For example, here basic authentication. Authentication. This is one predefined class. Using this, we are getting several benefits. So in the real time, people can use this one token authentication. Token authentication, guys. So in this token authentication, internally generating some random alphanumeric string, guys, like this. Some random alphanumeric string value generating. This is called token value. This is called token value for my credential. So by using this token value, I can access the APIs. If the token value is not there, whenever I'm sending the request, then we are unable to access the APIs. These all things in our class coming days, practically we are going to be developing. And when you are attending the interviews, guys, especially by putting experience, if you are attending the interview, so about this token authentication, lot of times asking in interviews. A lot of questions you are getting on the token authentication concept. So I created materials. I will share, guys, after discussing this topic, this material, after discussing this topic, this material, like that. In that material, lot of important questions also I created. Interview based questions. Clear that? So I hope you are following about this security classes. So these all are just introduction only, guys. So later for every topic related separate section there, separate class there. So security related 4 5 days we are discussing continuously. 4 5 days we are discussing security, how we are providing to our APIs. And serializers related every day we are discussing. So like a lot of concepts there, guys. So why this Django REST framework is getting demanding, that is only I'm explaining right now. So I didn't started the coding right now. Okay, this is also one of the benefit. And next, guys, see here, come again one more time. So Django REST framework is providing browsable API concept. So this is the one of the biggest advantage. So if we want to create the data into the database, so no need to write the creating related logics, guys. For example, check it this Django program. Check it this Django program. So now here, this is the view for creating data. See guys, here these all lines of code required. These all lines of code required for creating data into the database. So we are defining the view, and next we are checking the requested method is post or not. By default, requested method is get. That's why else block executing. In this form class object we are creating, using that form class object context object creating, and now sending that context object to the template. And later HTML code we are writing as in this HTML. So using the template inheritance, creating the logics by using these all HTML tags. So because of this HTML tags related code generated, guys. So later you are submitting by clicking this create button. Method with the post with the CSRF token sending our request. Again, the data is coming to this request object only along with the post method. Now condition is true. Then from the request object using the post method we are accessing. These all are procedure, guys. If you know procedure, each line what we are doing, if you know procedure, you are able to write coding more easily. Yourself only you can write the coding dead easily. So procedure important. In my classes, guys, I'm focusing the procedure related only. Step 1 what, step 2 what, step 3 what, okay, step 4 like that. So one time if you are understanding all the procedure steps, then coding you can write depending on your requirement. Okay, so now in Django we are writing like these all lines, guys. But in the Django REST framework, instead of writing these all lines of code, just one predefined class we are using. One predefined class we are using. We have several classes. So one of the class here, create create API view, guys. Create API view, like one predefined class is there in one predefined module. What is that module? These all things later we will discuss. So just we are going to use this class name, guys. Just we are going to define this class name. So using this class name, internally these all lines of code we are getting. In this class only, in this create API view class only, these all lines of logics there. Requested method is post or get, everything is validating in this only, guys. In this only. So at the time of creating, guys, all fields data submitting. So every field contains data or not. If containing data valid or not, checking here using is valid method. If everything is fine, then we are saving using save method. Understanding? So no need to validate, no need to save it, and no need to read the data from the request object. And first of all, no need to check the conditions. Requested method is post or get like that. These all things are done by one predefined class. Just we are going to use that predefined class. So here, see guys, for creating these all lines code we created. And next, for getting single one related these all lines, for updating related, see, more lines of code we created, guys. For updating related, these all lines of code required. These all lines of code required for updating, guys. So for updating related, just one predefined class there. If we are using that class, these all lines of logics, no need of writing. Just one predefined class name we are representing. Understanding? That's why very less lines of code we are creating using Django REST framework. For example, if you want, you can see here. So just how many lines I created, guys? 2 lines created, just 2 lines, and this is 1 line. 3 lines. These 3 lines will do internally these all lines of logics, guys. So whatever the lines there here, now these all lines of code using those 3 lines we can achieve. We can achieve. Understanding that? So that is the advantage of Django REST framework. Using pure Django, guys, using the pure Django, I created these all lines of code, almost 100 lines of code there. Okay? So the same thing using Django REST framework with these 3 lines code and imports 3 lines. So totally 6 lines of code we can do it. Clear? Are you understanding? What is the advantage of Django REST framework? Okay. So we are writing the less lines code. I said, guys, because of the less lines of code within the less time, we can write the coding, and the less lines code within the less time executing. Obviously, performance of the application increasing. Simply performance of the APIs increases, and within the less time we are developing means the duration of the APIs development decreasing, guys, and the readability increasing, complexity decreasing. Like several benefits there, guys, using the Django REST framework. So next one more thing is inbuilt serializer support there. Using the serializer support, so one type of data into another type, we can convert more easily. We can convert more easily, guys. So here serialization, deserialization concept there. Serialization, deserialization. So these all things more easily we can do using this serializers concept. And next, built-in security classes there, guys. Built-in security classes there. For example, using basic authentication, using token authentication, and third-party authentications also there. So JWT authentication, session authentication, like several authentications there. So we will discuss these all things later. Why? What is the use of authentications means? Providing the security to our APIs without using, without doing illegal activities. We can controlling the APIs. Who can do, who cannot do, what can do, what cannot do. Like we can restricting the APIs. Next, another point is, guys, extensive, extensive, guys, extensive documentation. Extensive documentation providing us for the Django REST framework. So if you want to work with the Django REST framework, so in real time when we are developing the APIs, guys, sometimes we are getting the problems, nothing but exceptions we are getting. So some errors we are getting, guys. So those problems how we are solving. So if you want to know, first of all, you need to know about the concepts. To learn these concepts in the Django REST framework, use documentation there. So by using the documentation, we can get lot of subject knowledge, guys. So for the Django REST framework related, huge documentation there, guys. So using the documentation, we can find out the knowledge about this Django REST framework more and more, more and more. Okay. And next, one more point, guys. So use community also there, guys. Use 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 community guys. Use community available, guys. Community means some forums, guys, like a Stack Overflow forum there, Stack Overflow forum. So when we are doing the work, sometimes the problem we are getting, so those problem related solutions we can get using the some third party forums, guys. Some forums, for example, Stack Overflow site there. Whenever we are trying to interact with the database using Django or Django REST framework, so we are getting some problems. So about that problem, you will get solution in the Stack Overflow site, guys. In the Stack Overflow site. So in the Stack Overflow site, guys, lots of people are there giving solutions to our problems. So not only Stack Overflow, we have the so many forums, guys. So for the Django REST framework also, we have huge community forum. So hundreds of people are giving replies, guys. in Stack Overflow site or some other forums. So whenever we are facing some problem, our problem related, we can get the solution from the forums, and then easily we can develop the coding. Understanding? So this is also one of the benefit using the Django REST framework. And also guys, in this Django REST framework, I will introduce some new commands guys. I will introduce some commands. In Django, make migration, migrate, create super user, run server. Some people using SQL migrate command also, and start project and start app related commands. Most of the times regularly we are using. So again, here a lot of other commands there. For example, dump data command, load data command, plus command, like several commands, they're advanced commands. So I mean, in this Django REST framework, we will use these all things. So you will get it a lot of benefits, guys. Understanding? So if you want to see the data of these all things, guys, so these all data in the database table there. If we want to see this data, then we need to write the presentation logics and backend logics, all the things. So just I'm developing the APIs, guys, using these APIs from the browser, we can send the request because of the browsable API feature. So I don't have browsable API feature. I don't have Postman tool, and I'm not developing as this templates presentation. Then how we can test our APIs? So by using some commands, we can test. So database data we can access, guys. In database, whatever the data is there, this data we can access by sending some commands. So we have dump data, we have load data, and along with those commands, some additional inputs we can give, and different formats we are getting data. And also I have data, this all data I have in the database table, guys. This all data we can load into one file called JSON file. I want to be load into the JSON file. I want to load into the Excel file. I want to load into the CSV file, comma separating file. So for these all things, separate commands there, guys. Using those commands we can load. Otherwise, we can write the logics also. In Django, guys, for example, in my Django batches, to my Django students, so I explain these all things. Our database data, how loading into JSON file, how loading into um, Excel file, like that. For example, here only some buttons I'm creating. So for example, here assumption. So JSON, XML, JSON, CSV, Excel, like some buttons creating. So if the user clicking on this JSON, guys, if user clicking on this JSON button, then all these records in the form of JSON file loading, in the form of JSON file loading, not these buttons, only these records data only loading, comma separating file, Excel file, like that loading. These all programs I explained to my students. Clear, guys? Are you understanding? So why this Django REST framework is getting demanding means these are some examples, guys. Some points only. Okay, remember that. And next, some more points we will discuss. What is the purpose of, guys? What is the purpose of HTTP methods? What is the purpose of HTTP methods? This point we need to know first of all. I means every time we are sending the request. So for example here, HTTP request, guys, get request we are sending, put request we are sending, delete request we are sending, and the post request we are sending. So here post request also there. These all requests called HTTP request, guys. So using the HTTP methods, we can send the HTTP request. Whenever we are sending the request, we are getting the response. But that response sometimes may be success, sometimes may be failure. So for every response, status codes we are getting. So those status codes here you are getting, guys. About the status codes knowledge important. So first, we will discuss about HTTP methods. Once completing the HTTP methods, then later HTTP status codes related we are discussing. Okay, like all the topics separately we will discuss. Then later by combining all the things, so we are developing the applications. If I'm starting directly concept APIs development, so first of all, some people don't know about the status codes related, HTTP methods related, so getting confusing. So that's why one by one, we will discuss it. Clear, guys? Yes. So just I'll give you the HTTP methods related information, something today. Tomorrow, more clearly we will discuss in the next session. Yes. Now, HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol, guys. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So HTTP protocol is providing some methods called HTTP methods, guys. So we are calling HTTP methods. So we have so many methods like a get method we have, post method we have, put method we have, okay, patch method we have, guys. So patch method we have, and delete method we have, and a head method we have, options method we have, like several methods we have, guys. So first of all, these methods very important to know, guys. So these all methods are called as HTTP methods. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol, guys. So I have one database here, guys. I have one database here, for example, MySQL or MongoDB, whatever you want. Okay, now, so here a lot of records there, guys. Some records data is there. All records there. So I want to get these all records, guys. I want to get these all records. Then get request we are sending, guys. Get request we are sending, and we are getting all records. So if we want to get these all records from the database, get request we can send. Into this database, if we want to create a new record, guys, then post request we can send. So for example, sixth record we can create using the post. And next, guys, using the put, guys, one record, specific record you can access, specific record we can access, and that record we can update also, guys, both bidirectional. So using the put method, particular record, for example, this ID record 5, ID 5, guys, I want to do the update. I want to do the update information. And using the patch method also, same we are doing. Using put method and using patch method, updates only we are doing. So we have difference, guys, using put and patch. So later we will discuss. Later we will discuss about that. Or simply I'll give you some points here. Using the put method, fully updating, entire object data updating. Using patch method, partially updating. Using patch method, partially updating. For example, my object is assumption, this is the one employee object. In this employee object, so having employee number related. So 10, guys. And next, employee name related, something Ramu is there, Ramu. And 3 columns I'm going to take, salary, and then salary is 10,000. Okay, this is my object. This is my object. So if I'm using put method, so my intention is salary only I want to do update. Instead of 10,000, I want to convert, I want to change 15,000, guys. 10,000 I want to change to 15,000. So just salary field only I want to do the changes. So what? 15,000. So only salary column I want to do update in this database. Okay, in this fifth record, for example. So this is employee number 5, for example. Employee number is 5 assumption. This is 5. Wherever employee number 5 is there, there I want to update salary 15,000. So along with this salary field, this e-name field we need to use. This employee number field also we need to use. Any other columns also if available, like address, mobile number, all the things, all columns we require to send. not only salary field, that is using put method. Even though you want to update one column, but remaining all columns data required to send. Got it? So instead of that, if we are using the patch method, guys, partially updating, which column you want to do update salary, then only salary related we can do it, guys. Salary, salary equal to 15,000 and then close it. So at the time of sending the URL request, guys, so employee ID, employee number 5, like we are sending URL. In the URL only we are sending the ID record. So wherever that ID is there salary column related data updating, salary column data updating. Remaining fields data, existing fields data only there. Existing employee number, existing employee name, existing address, existing mobile number only using. Only salary column will updating. So this is using the patch method possible. Understanding? So that is the difference between put and patch. Later we will discuss more. And here one record I want to delete, guys. For example, this ID3 related record I want to delete. Then we can use the delete method. We can use delete method. So like this, we can perform the database operations using the HTTP methods, guys. So remember, using the database, SQL commands we are using, create command, update command, delete command, like that. So these are the HTTP commands, methods, guys. So using the HTTP methods, how we are doing. Okay, so these all things later you will get it. Now see here, creating, reading, updating, deleting as creating, reading, updating, deleting, database code operation. So for this purpose, HTTP methods we are using these things. Post method, get method, put method, delete method, like that. Understanding? These all things regularly we are using, guys. So remember this. And next session for creating the APIs. So we have different variations, and also we have the two types of APIs, guys. So JSON based APIs we have, XML based APIs we have. So which one popular nowadays? Which one not having popular other one? And what is the difference between JSON related APIs and XML based APIs? So these all things XML related, JSON related. Tomorrow I will explain in more clearly. Clear that? So if you are interested about this session, guys, as early as possible, please do make it your registration. Then you people will get these all topics related material every day. The people who are making the registration, so those all people will add into one group. So into that group, people will get the material related all the things, guys. Clear? No, guys. Put method is for updating related. So delete logics related, delete method you can use. If requested method is delete, then do something like logics we are writing. Logics we are writing. Shetaramaya. So yes, Shetaramaya, HTTP methods are fixed methods. Get to, put to, update. Update means the put method only. Delete purpose, delete method. Create purpose, post method. Getting purpose, accessing purpose, get method. Those are fixed methods, guys. Those are the fixed methods. But for one project, we can create n number of get APIs, n number of post APIs, n number of update APIs, n number of delete APIs. How we can create these all things, slowly we'll understanding. Understanding? So here our main agenda is, guys, so developing the APIs using Django REST framework. So we have the several variations using pure Django also. I will create, guys, APIs using pure Django. So in Django we have the serializers module. Anyone knows about that? The people who learn Django. In my Django session, I'm teaching that one. So we have the Django serializers module. Using that serializers module, we can develop the APIs. Using those APIs, okay, what are the problems there? How we are overcoming those problems in Django REST framework. Again, in the Django REST framework, multiple modules there. Using each module, how we are developing APIs. So I will show you guys. And using function based, how we are developing APIs. Using class-based, how we are developing the APIs, all we are discussing. Hear that? So here our agenda is developing the APIs and those APIs using from partner application, how we are interacting. And also others APIs, how we are using, our APIs, how other people using. So same in our class only, same time, two applications designing from one application, another application, from one application to another application communication, I will show you. It means one application related API, I will use in another application and interacting between them. These all things I will take care. So project means, guys, project means what kind of project we are developing means. So using pure Django only we are developing the project. Using the pure Django only we are developing the project. To that existing project we are developing the APIs. So APIs how we are designing, that is I will take care. Got it? Yeah. So I'll stop this recording here. And if you are having any queries, you can let me know, guys. And in the chat box, guys, office numbers given and registration details also given, guys. So if you are interested, you can make it your registration. So I took many batches, guys, previously about the REST API related, Python related, Django related. Hundreds of batches I took and I completed. So many people got jobs also, guys. So your side, I'm expecting every day reading and doing practice. Before coming to the next session, when you are reading previous topic, then easily will understanding the further topic. And in the chat box also, whenever I'm asking question, be ready to give reply. Then I will get confirmation you are understanding or not. And also you people will get more interest if you are giving the replies. So some people just connecting to the class and using mobiles and doing chatting. So that is useless, guys. So 1 hour time means you need to put full concentration on this class only. Yeah, thank you, guys. So tomorrow also we will discuss some points and later link is going to be changing, guys. So the people who want to continue the session can make it your registration. Thank you.